Who are the audiences that the BBC still needs to reach out to, and how do they do that?
Yeah, the BBC, it needs to reach out and find, the nitty-gritty bits of the community that are not portrayed.
One of the powerful ways they can do this is by establishing links, but not just any links, the right links, finding those views and giving them a voice. And that's one of the key ways the BBC can connect with these audiences. Give them a voice.
The global conversation by actually taking an active interest, actually focusing on other things apart from the conflict that happens in like countries abroad and everything.
If you think about the BBC globally, I mean, you look at countries like that concern the community, for example, like Pakistan, Palestine, Kashmir, Bangladesh and everything, and it's just they give you, for example, what happened with the Bangladesh floods and etc. They portrayed that image, but then they took it away and they didn't go back and see, what's happening to it.
Because the BBC is it's broadcasted worldwide. They've got the materials, they've got the resources to have a powerful impact. And they didn't show this, and this is what I mean. It's the Bangladeshi community are in the UK, and it wasn't shown, and it was just shocking that it wasn't shown. It's not only that, you had the hijab ban in France. There was protests happening, which I took part in myself. There were other protests. It didn't even make it to the set up to sort of stop these things. So what the BBC needs to do is show that we have integrated into their society. That's the only way we're going to get a voice, because especially after 9/11. Islamophobia burst out, and Muslims, the way the BBC has depicted Muslims has by far been in a negative way.
It's like what really offended me the other day was, I think this was last Monday on an episode of Spooks, they started off with the Quran. This is the Quran we're talking about, this is our holy book. What gives you the right to do they ask anybody? Do they have to get permission for this kind of thing?
Yeah.
And do they actually care that
One thing that I know is that after that programme, a lot of us wrote into the BBC saying we want this off air. Yeah. Don't know if anyone read it or not, but
don't know if anybody cares.
Because the thing is, this affects our daily lives, and the BBC don't realise that. If you want to increase the global tolerance, in fact, you're increasing global resentment, conflict. Frustrating, because the BBC is so powerful. So when the BBC projects something, it makes our job increasingly difficult to disprove it. Because it's almost like what the BBC say is
Why
correct.
do we have to prove over and over again that we are not terrorists? Why?
If you think about it, I mean, when it comes to our parents, our parents, they don't really take an interest in BBC and what they're watching. They'll be watching their, Bangla TV network, watching how, it reminds them of their culture and how, life was like for them. Because it's not the same, life's moved on.
Yeah. And the thing is, I'm scared now, at the moment, I'm scared with, how in 10 years' time I'm going to have kids and how my kids are going to be treated by, the people of this country. Even though we belong here, it won't matter. The colour of their skin, the religion they follow, everything is going to affect it. And I think the BBC can act as it's not only their fault, and they shouldn't be the only ones responsible, but you should play an active role. You should go out there, educate these people.
Make the BBC appear open, because at the moment the BBC seems it's really restricted television company. Someone like me, personally, I would think, I would never apply for a job at the BBC. I think there is no way the BBC would offer me, someone from the Bangladeshi Muslim community, a job. There's no way that's going to happen. And if the BBC want to get closer to us, then they need to sort of let us be a part of the BBC.
Okay, we just want to kind of say thank you for the fact that we've been given this opportunity to express our thoughts, and just be kind of we're grateful for the fact that someone's willing to listen, and we hope that you do listen and you do take into account what we have to say, because we're just, it's time somebody started listening somewhere. You've got to start somewhere.